Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are already in snowblower season here in Canada. It's getting quite cold. I'm expecting snow anytime soon now. In today's video, I want to show you what to look for if you're thinking of buying a used snowblower. Now, there's quite a long list here that I will refer to when I'm making the video. However, the first thing I always tell my customers is if you can afford to buy a new snowblower, go new instead of used. Now, I do understand some of you guys watching cannot afford to buy a new one, and I want to make sure that you don't get screwed when you go and buy a used one. So I'm going to start off with my list here. I do have a bunch of snowblowers in my yard, in the shop, to show you the things that I want you to watch out for when you're buying a machine. So the very first thing you want to look at is how old is the machine and how much is it selling for compared to buying a new one. So for example, if somebody's asking more than half price of a new machine for a 10 to 20-year-old snowblower that's probably never been serviced, I would just walk away or buy new at that point. Now, another thing you want to watch out for when you go to look at the machine, a deal breaker would be is if the body is rotting. The machine may have had a lot of salt from the snowplow and it's probably cracked or rotted. I'm just going to show you an example here of a snowblower that I have in my driveway. So this machine came in the shop here. I told the customer, don't waste your money. And this one does have a rotted body. It is cracked all over right here where the front housing meets the transmission part. You can see right here all the cracks. The metal is super soft. It's just going to keep cracking. It's especially hard to weld that because it's so rusted out. Now, if you come across a machine and there's a small crack right here and the rest is good over here, that can be easily welded and repaired. But in the case of a machine like this where the crack is huge and you're not seeing the whole thing because the belt cover's on and it's starting to rot over here and underneath, just walk away, guys, because you're just throwing money into a pit. And also examine the front here to make sure it's not rotted as well. Now, when you buy a used machine, guys, you can expect to have to do some repairs. It's not going to be a new machine. And the things you should expect to replace when you buy a new machine, unless you bought it from a reputable shop, is you can expect to have to replace all the belts, the drive and the auger or auger belt. Sometimes there's two auger belts. The drive axle bushings, the drive ring, which has a rubber part on it. You may have to clean the carburetor as well. You may have to put a pull cord. So a lot of little things, but a lot of these little things are just basically regular maintenance on a snowblower. It's not really a deal breaker, but when you do have a cracked frame or rotted frame, guys, that's pretty well a deal breaker for me anyway. And just walk away. Now, another thing you want to check if you cannot pull start it by hand is you want to make sure that the electric starter is working. Some of these can be crazy expensive. On the Tecumseh here, it's not so bad. They're around $150 to $225 here in Canada. But I'm going to show you a Husqvarna outside here with an LCT engine, and you will be shocked at the price of that starter. So do your homework first, guys. Bring a cord and test the starter. So the reason I'm mentioning electric starters, guys, is because on this Husqvarna, for example, with an LCT engine, the starter here in Canada retail is over $500. That's crazy, which can be more than what you paid for the used machine. Some people heavily rely on the electric starter because they cannot pull a machine over to start it. So again, just another thing to test out when you do go buy the machine. Bring a cord with you and see if the electric starter will work. Now, another thing you want to check, if the machine you're looking at has a metal gas tank, you want to pop the cap open and make sure it's not rusted inside the tank. Some of the fuel tanks for snowblowers can be crazy expensive, guys. I just priced one out for an LCT engine on a Husqvarna snowblower. The retail cost was like over $250 for it. Just something to think about, guys, because if you pay $300-400 for a used snowblower and you're putting more in parts to fix it properly, it's a total waste of your money. So just be careful with that. I usually pop the cap open when I'm doing repairs. A telltale sign that there could be rust in the gas tank is if the bottom part of the gas cap here is all rusted. There will more than likely be rust inside the tank. If there's any rust at all in a fuel tank, and I'm doing a repair for a customer, I replace it, because if I don't, if I just replace the carburetor, what's going to happen is the rust in the gas tank will vibrate itself loose and it will end up plugging the carburetor again. So if you go look at a snowblower with a metal tank, make sure to check for that. Most of them will have a plastic tank like that. Even the older Tecumsehs had a plastic tank. You don't have to worry about that on those tanks. Now, obviously, when you go look at a machine, you're going to start it. You're going to test the drive, push down the drive lever and the auger lever. Bring a friend with you guys. And if your friend is a mechanic, that's even better, so that you can have a good idea if you will get screwed or not. You don't want to get screwed. You just want somebody to come with you to give you an honest opinion as to what they think about the machine you're looking at. What you need to really look at when you start it is to make sure that the augers are actually turning when you push down the auger lever. And it's more ideal to test out the used machine you want to buy when there is actually snow outside, because sometimes the impeller will turn at the back, the augers will turn, but when there's snow outside and there's a bit of resistance, the augers will stop turning. So if the impeller's turning and the augers are not turning, that means there's a major problem in the gearbox. And at that point, if you can't fix it yourself, and even if you can, it might end up costing you more than what you're paying for the machine. So that is very, very important to check, because that is a critical part of the machine, just like the transmission and the engine. When you buy a used car, the two important things you're worried about are the engine and the transmission. Well, it's the same when you buy a snowblower. You're worrying about the engine, transmission, and the auger gearbox. And what can be tricky, like I said earlier, is you might buy a machine right now, there's no snow, the augers are spinning, but as soon as you hit the snow, the augers might stop spinning because the gear in the gearbox is stripped. It might turn when there's no resistance, but it surely will not turn when there's snow. Now, if you're looking at a snowblower with a Briggs & Stratton engine like this, you want to test out the electric starter, but you also want to grab it with your hand here and pull it over and see how it feels when you pull it. The reason I'm showing you this is because these Briggs & Stratton engines here have a tendency to have the decompressor on the camshaft break, and then they're extremely hard to pull, like this one here. This one is super hard to turn over, and I suspect that the decompressor on the camshaft is broken. That is quite expensive to fix. If you cannot do it yourself, guys, you're best to just walk away in this case, unless you're going to do it yourself and you've got a spare camshaft with the decompressor kicking around. Also, Briggs, I hear, has been in bankruptcy protection for the last several years, and a lot of parts may or may not be available, so just be careful about that. They also have entire snowblowers made by Briggs, and I'm finding as a repair shop, a lot of the parts are back ordered indefinitely. There's no ETA on those parts. It is extremely frustrating to the customer. Sometimes you just need an easy steer cable and you can't get it. So another thing I almost forgot to tell you is when you go over to look at a machine, take note of how it was maintained and stored. So if the machine was stored outside, you get there, you can tell it's been outside for eons and it's discolored by the sun, it's all rusted. You know you're going to have a lot more problems than what you're wanting to have, so be careful with that. Personally, I wouldn't buy a machine that's been left outside. On the other hand, if it's been kept, serviced every year, kept in a warm garage, even if it's not a warm garage, doesn't matter. At least it's been out of the elements. Guaranteed you're going to have a lot less problems with that machine. Another tip too is if you have a good repair shop near you, what you can do is get a hold of them and tell them, look, hey, if you get a customer or if you have a good used machine to sell, give me a call. Because any reputable shop will go through a machine before selling it used. So for example, they will more than likely replace the oil, spark plug, check the belts, replace them if they need to be replaced. And if the machine is not worth selling, they just won't sell it because they don't want to get a bad reputation. Just keep that in mind, guys. You're not always going to pay more for a used snowblower from a good shop than buying it on Facebook Marketplace. All right, here's another thing that you need to be careful about. Try to buy a good brand name machine. If you buy an obscure brand that you've never heard about before, you're going to have an extremely hard time to get parts for it, and a lot of shops will not want to work on it. I'm just going to show you one in my driveway that is similar to that, and I'll tell you why. So this machine here, Yardworks from Canadian Tire in Canada here, big box store. This machine here is made by Champion equipment. They make generators. Now, when you go to order parts for these, you're going to wait a lot longer than if you have an Aaron's, Toro, or MTD machine. It could take 2, 3, 4 weeks to get the parts. The quality is not as good as a name brand machine, by the way. And what can happen is you may get a breakdown in the first snowstorm, and before you know it, it's taking 2, 3, 4 weeks to get the parts from at the shop, and half the winter's gone and you've been shoveling all along. So just keep that in mind, guys. I try to tell my customers to be careful, especially with the Home Depot and other big box store Power Smart snowblowers. They're a real pain to get parts for. Sorry if you've already bought one, but make sure you maintain it, keep it indoors. They're just horrible for any shop. A lot of shops just turn them away. I personally turn away the Power Smart snowblowers because they're just a waste of my time. And a lot of customers don't understand that because they're a no-name brand machine or an off-brand, they're just harder to get parts for and very difficult. You'll spend more time hunting down parts than what your actual repair will take. If people are smart and they bring into my shop these machines first here, before the winter hits, I do have enough time to order the parts on time and get them going. But if you're looking at buying one of these, you must take that in consideration, that you may have a lot more downtime than you expect. And another thing you want to look out for too is the age of the machine. And I've got one here that I want to show you here. It is about 30 years old. It's going to require a lot more work than probably the customer expects. So if you buy an old 30-year-old machine like this one for example, it needs a tube in the tire. The rims are probably seized on the drive axles because it's so old. Some parts are hard to get for it. And the labor might be more because you're heating up parts that are seized to fix it. Personally, guys, unless you're a tinkerer or mechanic yourself, I'd stay away from, 20-plus-year-old machines because they may end up causing you more headaches than what it's worth. So let's say you buy one from a reputable shop, as I mentioned earlier. The extra benefit to that is they will probably give you a 30-day warranty. If you buy a snowblower from Facebook Marketplace, more than likely, once you've bought it, left the driveway with it, you're on your own, whether it works good or not. I just had a customer call me this afternoon while I was filming the video. He bought a used snowblower from another town, from a guy in another town nearby, and he's having problems. And he asked me what he should do with it. I said, well, just go back to the shop where you bought it, the repair guy, and deal with him there. So if you buy it from a good shop, guys, and there's an issue within that 30 days, they will come good for it. So that's one good thing. And again, like I said earlier, it will have been probably all serviced before you buy it. So in conclusion to this video, guys, when you're buying a used machine, you're taking a chance, you're not getting a new machine, and you can expect some problems. For example, you're more than likely going to have to replace all the belts, maybe clean the carburetor, and do the drive disc, the friction disc. If you can do that by yourself, it may be a good deal for you. Sometimes you can get great deals. Sometimes I get customers, they move into a condo, they've sold their house, they want me to sell their machine, and some of their machines are in immaculate condition because they've had them at my shop every single year to be maintained. If you get a machine like that, you've done well. But again, be careful buying used. Bring a friend or a mechanic friend with you, and your odds of getting a good machine, guys, are pretty good. And don't get me wrong here, there's nothing wrong with buying a good used machine. I do know a lot of people who end up doing very well buying used machines. Just be careful. Thanks for watching, and if I forgot to mention anything about buying a used machine, please comment below. Also, let us know your experience if you've bought a used machine. Have a good day.